Hey guys, Dane here, doing the second part of the tutorial for our Emulate controllers, Artist Links Gateway remote devices. And now we're going to set up our LogixDesigner project so we can download to our emulator running in the background here. And do some logic that we can apply for our FactoryTalk View application. So we're going to open up Studio 5000 on our local machine. Remember, we have a remote computer running somewhere in the computerverse, and so we need to open up Rockwell on our local machine, not on the remote machine in this case. So we're going to set up our project and we're going to create new. If you have all these options, we're going to click on Logix. Studio 5000 Emulate Controller. Not any of these above. Studio Emulate, because we are downloading to an emulated controller. So we will call it how about Emulate, if I can spell correctly. There, we'll call our Emulate project. Remember that, if you can. Alright, hit next. It's revision 32. We have LogixDesigner 32, version 32, not anything else. It matches our version up here in our emulator. Remember, we selected that version 32. Alright, we'll just do a generic 17 slot chassis, even though we are not occupying that many cards. Our controller's not in 0, 1, 2, it's in 2, so slot 2. And then everything looks good there. Finish. And we will wait for it. Oh, there it goes. Popping right up. While it's opening up in the background, you can still see RS Links on my local computer. It still shows all the cards in the remote computer. So we know we're all good. And looks like Studio is about ready to pop up. Perfect. Let's get that up over here. Now, we notice that our controller that we just made is in slot 2. Now we're going to add that input-output card right here, that 1789 SIM. Okay, so we're offline, right? We haven't downloaded anything and blah, blah, blah. So we right-click, New Module, and this will go, if you have to add other input-output modules, you need to be offline to add this. You can't do it online. So just type in GEN, and it's going to be the 1756 module card, generic 1756 module. And we're going to do create, and we're going to name it something pretty easy, Emulate IO, and it is in slot 3. If you remember, you can check if you don't remember. And input 1, 2, 2, 1, and I am getting these specifications over here for assembly, instance, and size. That is out of the manual for the emulator, which is available through rockwellautomation.com or Google. Pretty easy. We're going to deselect this because we don't need this window to pop up after we execute. Okay. All right. Now we have added our module. Close this dialog box. Communications. Who active, which is always good practice. There's our chassis that we had added on our local machine through remote devices. And now we open it up. There's our controller. And we select download. So while this is downloading, remember, so we are on a local machine. Through RS Links, it's going to download our project, ship it out to our remote computer, where it has RS Links Gateway server on, and then it writes it to our remote emulator rack. Pretty cool. So kind of doing a lot of data exchange there. And it doesn't have to be writing to an emulator. I mean, you could use this. On like a remote, you could create a bunch of drivers on there, Ethernet drivers, and then share that through many of your computers on the same local area network. Sorry guys, that's the radio in the background. Alright, hopefully it keeps chewing through this a little bit. You'll notice that when you download across the network through RSLinks Gateway, it will take a little bit of time. So, as I said before, make sure you are full of coffee before we do all this stuff. Makes it a little easier. Perfect, we are online and remote program. Now for this last part, we're going to flip it to a remote run. Yes, in the dialog box, and we are good to go. If you would like, we can do a quick little test right here. So here's our emulate controller on our remote computer, okay, on the server computer as I refer to it. Click on that, click back in your dialog box, go to your controller tags. It's going to be this output module right here. Keep populating, data 0. We're going to do a 1. And there we go. There's our light. So thanks guys.